Hello, I'm Nancy Southerland. I'm your instructor for Chapter 17, Retailing and Omnichannel Marketing. Thank you and good listening. Students, please take this opportunity and review the learning objectives for Chapter 17. These learning objectives in reference to retailing and omnichannel marketing will be covered in the subsequent slides. They are: discuss the 4 factors manufacturers should consider as they develop their strategy for working with retailers. Outline the considerations associated with choosing retail partners. List the 3 levels of distribution intensity. Describe the various types of retailers. Describe the components of a retail strategy. Identify the benefits of stores. Identify the benefits of omnichannel retailing. And lastly, discuss the challenges of omnichannel retailing. I go over these learning objectives because I have a belief system in which that the more you hear something, the more it firmly roots itself within your mind. Thank you for listening. Students, this is an overview and each stage is presented on the following slides. Therefore, there are 4 factors manufacturers must consider to establish their strategy for working with retailers. In choosing retailing partners, the first factor, manufacturers must assess how likely it is for certain retailers to carry their products. For the second factor, manufacturers identify the types of retailers that would be appropriate to carry their products. In the third factor, manufacturer and retailer therefore develop their strategy by implementing the 4 P's. Finally, the fourth factor, many retail and some manufacturers use an omnichannel or multi-channel strategy which involves selling in more than one channel. For example, selling in the store, utilization of a catalog, and the internet. Students, in this slide I want to describe what is meant by degree of vertical integration. This is content of Chapter 16, albeit vertical integration refers to a supply chain where the members act as a unified system. This is key. The more unified the system, the less conflict in the supply chain. And again, I want to emphasize that the supply chain must run efficiently. Conflict reduces efficiency, thereby reducing customer value. Likewise, students, how does vertical integration affect a manufacturer who is introducing a new product and choosing a retail partner? If the manufacturer and the retailer already have a relationship from previous products, then the retailer will be more likely to accept the new product. However, the new product must meet the customer's needs of the target segment of this particular store. When choosing retail partners, students, you must consider where the customer expects your product to be. Focus groups and surveys reveal for Coach the customer expectation of Saks versus Marshalls. Thus, Coach should stop stocking Marshalls and start stocking Saks to meet customers' expectation. Therefore, students, how do manufacturers determine which retailers would be best for consumers? Manufacturers utilize focus groups and surveys. Manufacturers might also gather information from sales reps within the stores that supply information on products that the consumer requests. Indeed, manufacturers must know where the target market customers expect their products to be and their competition. With that knowledge, they must make place decisions, which is one of the 4 P's, and put those products in those stores where the customers expect them to be. Channel member characteristics are important when choosing retail partners. In fact, larger firms often find that by performing the channel functions themselves, they can gain more control, be more efficient, and save more money. Generally, the larger and more sophisticated the channel member, the less likely that it will use intermediaries. For example, an independent grocery store will buy from a wholesaler, students. However, the largest grocer, Walmart, will buy directly from the manufacturer and escape the intermediaries, whereas the manufacturers have pallets shrink-wrapped just for Walmart to be cross-docked. Let us now tackle distribution intensity. Distribution intensity is defined as the number of channel members used at each level of the marketing channel. Distribution intensity is divided into 3 categories: intensive, exclusive, and selective. The intensive strategy is designed to place the products in as many places as possible. Secondly, the exclusive strategy limits who distributes but ensures the most appropriate retailers represent the products. Lastly, selective distribution relies on a few selected distribution in a territory to sell the product. Furthermore, product characteristics drive supply chain structures in that mass merchandise products use intensive distribution, whereas luxury goods employ exclusive distribution. I now want us to match the following products listed to their likely type of distribution. Pharmaceuticals would be selective distribution. Clothing depends on the product type. For example, luxury clothing would be exclusive distribution. Lastly, soft drinks would be intensive distribution. In all practicality, what that means is the more that they're out there, the more they're sold, and that's a good thing, students. This brings us to another assessment, students. What issues should manufacturers consider when choosing retail partners? When choosing retail partners, manufacturers must look at the basic channel structure, where their target customers expect to find the products, channel member characteristics, and distribution intensity. That makes me ask, what is the difference between intensive, exclusive, and selective levels of distribution intensity? An intensive distribution strategy is designed to get products into as many outlets as possible. Exclusive distribution policy grants exclusive geographic territories to one or few retail customers so that no other customers in the territory can sell a particular brand. Selective distribution uses a free selected retail customers in a territory to sell a product. Thank you. Students, the next discussion will involve the types of retailers. The initial breakdown of retailers include food retailers, with the renowned Walmart as the world's largest food retailer, grossing more than $443 billion. The latter breakdown includes general merchandise and service categorization as types of retailers. Food retailers are categorized as supermarkets, supercenters, warehouse clubs, and convenience stores. In what circumstances do you shop at each type of the food retailers? Meaning, when do you pick a supermarket? When do you pick a warehouse club? What about a convenience store? Just when you need gas? How do the price, selection, and quality vary across each type? I also want to discuss the online grocery stores. Peapod is one such grocery store. Peapod Limited Liability Corporation is an online grocery delivery service. The company is based in Skokie, Illinois, and operates in several U.S. cities. It is owned by Royal Ahold and delivers from that company's stores as well as from its own Chicago area warehouses. Grocery Gateway is another online grocery store out of Toronto, Canada, serving the greater Toronto area. Have you ever used an online grocery store, students? Why or why not? I haven't as of yet. General merchandise retailers are broken down into listed categories, students. Department stores, known for broad variety and deep assortment. Full-line discount, known for broad variety at low prices. Specialty, limited merchandise with service in small stores. Drug stores, especially for pharmaceuticals and health aids. Category specialists, discount with narrow but deep assortment. Extreme value, full line, limited, very low prices. An off-price, inconsistent assortment of brand name and at low prices. I want us to come up with examples in all these different categories, and I've put together some. Recognizable department store chains in the United States include Sears, JCPenney's, and a Macy's, among others. Full-line discount stores includes Walmart, Target, and Kmart. Specialty store example would include an Estee Lauder company owned store selling its cosmetics. Similarly, none of us have any trouble coming up with drugstore examples, including privately owned as well as the chains of Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. A category specialist example might be known as staples, which are known for a tremendous discount and a narrow but deep assortment. Obviously, we cannot forget the Dollar General and Family Dollars, which are examples of extreme value examples. Lastly, Big Lots and Burlington Coat Factory are examples of off-price retailer. All the specific retailers create value for their target customers. That's what I want you to really emphasize in your mind. Thank you. We have been discussing retail firms that sell products to customers. I want us now to consider service retailers, which are firms that sell services rather than merchandise. Service retailers are a growing segment in the retail industry. Several trends suggest considerable future growth in service retailing. For example, the aging population will increase demand for healthcare services. I provided a link to the Administration on Aging, which cites that by the year 2030 there will be about 72.1 million older persons, more than twice their number in 2000. This trend will necessitate the growth for service industries that support the aged. Another trend is that younger people are also spending more and more time and money on health and fitness. Busy parents in two-income homes are willing to pay to have their homes clean, lawns maintained, clothes washed and pressed, and meals prepared so they can spend more time with their families. Much more money is allocated to eating out so that the time spent preparing and cleaning up is not done, even though it's generally more expensive to eat out. Now listen quickly and closely, students. If you're an entrepreneur and have the capitalization, these stated trends mean future demands that support viable businesses. So I suggest that you consider these. Students, it's time for an assessment. What strategies distinguish the different types of food retailers? Food retailers include supermarkets. Their strategy is a self-service food store offering groceries, meat, and produce with limited sales of non-food items such as health and beauty aids and general merchandise. Secondly, food centers include supercenters. Supercenters are the largest, fastest growing retail category. Supercenters are large stores, 150,000 to 220,000 square feet. Their strategy is combine a supermarket with a full-line discount store. By offering broad assortments of grocery and general merchandise products under one roof, supercenters provide a one-stop shopping experience. Likewise, food centers include warehouse clubs. Warehouse clubs are large retailers, at least 100,000 to 150,000 square feet stores. Their strategy is to offer a limited and irregular assortment of food and general merchandise with little service at low prices for ultimately consumer and small businesses. Their strategy is to also charge a moderate to stiff annual membership to customers and businesses. Sam's Wholesale is well known for its large quantities. Please see the video insert inside D2L where a customer or business can order online and then pick up at the club. Lastly, food centers include convenience stores. Convenience stores have a strategy to provide a limited variety and assortment of merchandise at a convenient location in 2,000 to 3,000 square feet stores. With speedy checkouts, milk, eggs, and bread once represented the majority of their sales, but now the majority of sales comes from gasoline and cigarettes. Don't you find it amazing that these two items can comprise healthy businesses? I know that I sure do. Second question. What strategies determine the different types of general merchandise retailers? General merchandisers include department stores. Their strategy is to carry a broad variety and deep assortment, offering consumer services and organizing their stores into distinct departments for displaying merchandise. In contrast, strategically full-line discount stores offer a broad variety of merchandise, limited service, and low prices. Similarly, specialty stores concentrate on a limited number of complementary merchandise categories and provide a high level of service in relatively small stores. Specialty stores tailor their retail strategy toward a very specific market segment by offering deep but narrow assortments and sales-associated experience. And as a strategy, drugstores are specialty stores that concentrate on pharmaceuticals and health and personal grooming merchandise. Stores such as Staples are category specialists. Their strategy is to be a discount store that offers a narrow but deep assortment of merchandise. Also, extreme value retailers. Strategy is to be a small, full-line discount store that offer a limited merchandise assortment at very low prices. Lastly, off-price retailers offer an inconsistent assortment of brand-name merchandise at low prices. That's a long list, students. Please be familiar. Question 3. Are organizations that provide services to consumers considered to be retailers? Yes, of course. Service retailers are firms that primarily sell services rather than merchandise. And service retailers are a large and growing part of the retail industry. Thank you. Students, we will now discuss developing a retail strategy utilizing the 4 Ps. Product is providing the right mix of merchandise and services to the customers. Students, what is the most important thing that retailers can do in reference to the product? The answer is this: they can provide assortment to the customers. Now I want us to do a little game. Let us start a new store. If you had a new store, who or what would you identify as the target market? Secondly, what are you going to put in that store? You must remember, as you make this decision, you must consider both the variety, which is the number of categories, and the assortment, the number of SKUs within the category. How are you doing with your store? Students, price is defined as the value of both merchandise and the service provided. In the development of your store that we have discussed, I want you to now decide for the general price range for your store. Justify in your mind your price range and your reasoning. Shoot me an email with these thoughts. I would covet them. Now, I would like you to further watch the Wall Street Journal video referencing Walmart's profits falling 15% because of higher prices than their competitors. They are removing healthcare benefits from employees so that they can lower prices in order that they gain back the market share that they lost. What a travesty. Students, in your opinion, why are Walmart's profits dropping? What global factors are affecting Walmart's profits? My opinion is that there is still an overall global economic downturn that we have not recovered. We further now see a strategic rival to the low-price items of Walmart by the dollar sell king Dollar Tree. Dollar General and Family Dollar are likewise staunch competitors to the low-price giant Walmart. Students, when the retailer loses its market shares to its rivals, there is still no global increase. It's just a shift of the business from one retailer to another, in other words, from Walmart to their competition. There is no global increase in productivity or wealth, just a shift in who has the wealth. This too is a travesty. Students, as you have learned, promotion is one of the 4 Ps. Retailers use a wide variety of promotions, both within their retail environment and through mass media. I want you to know that promotions affect consumers' perceptions of value. Promotions further affect patronage intentions. Promotions affect purchases. Promotions also affect customer loyalty to the store. Lastly, promotions affect the share of the wallet that the customer will devote to a particular retail. Promotions likewise affect all of the aforementioned items, both individually and in combination. Promotions are key. Promotions are important. Now let us get back to your store. You have a fixed amount to spend on promotion, including personal selling. How will you divide up your promotional dollar? Think hard. I would desire that you justify your recommendation as far as the promotional dollar division. Again, shoot me an email with your store's promotional decisions. Is not developing the real strategy for your store according to the 4 Ps fun? I think so. Students, let us now consider the 4 P place in our retail strategy. Most people would agree with the statement that convenience is a key ingredient to success. In retailing, there are 2 aspects to place. The first is location, and the second is supply chain management. Both are very important, students. Location is important because it is one of the consumer's most important criteria in choosing a retailer, and is a very long-term investment. Now back to your store. I want you to choose a location and justify it. I also ask you to describe how you would design your supply chain. I'm asking you to assess whether you would use wholesalers or distribution centers. I'm asking you whether you would use direct store delivery or delivery to distribution centers. And lastly, I'm asking you to assess whether traditional warehouses versus cross-docking will be utilized. Students, I love this slide. The benefits of stores: browsing, touching and feeling, personal service, ability to use cash and credit, entertainment and social interaction, instant product, thus instant gratification, and lastly, risk reduction. All of these are huge benefits of the brick and mortar store. Students, I'd like to know, do you like to buy in stores versus catalogs versus online? Have you ever started shopping online and then visited the store to make the actual purchase? I know that I have. I used online to browse the multitude of varieties. What kind of product did you buy using this method? Let me know. Students, this information is worth memorizing and will aid you in much business decision making. Shopping over the internet provides the convenience offered by catalogs and other non-story formats. However, the internet compared with store and catalog channels also has the potential to offer a greater selection of products and more personalized information about products and services in a relatively short amount of time. It also offers sellers the unique opportunity to collect information on how consumers shop, information that they can use to improve the shopping experience all across channels. And I want you to remember again that omni-retail channeling is the use of internet, catalog, and the brick and mortar store. Thank you. Customers desire a seamless experience when interacting with omnichannel retailers. Students, firms are challenged to provide an integrated customer relationship management system. Firms are challenged to provide a consistent brand image across all channels. Firms are challenged to provide consistent pricing across all channels. Firms are challenged to deliver merchandise to multiple channels via the supply chain. And remember, I told you that a supply chain must be efficient. The diversity of the sales channels, whether it's internet, cataloged, and or store, make the supply chain more of a challenge. Students, it's time for another assessment. What are the components of a retail strategy? Like other marketers, retailers perform important functions that increase the value of products and services they desire to sell to consumers. These functions are classified into the 4 P's: product, price, promotion, and place. What are the advantages of a traditional store versus an internet-only store? The relative advantages of the most traditional retail channels are browsing, touching and feeling products, personal service, cash and credit card payment, entertainment and social experience, immediate gratification, and risk reduction. Last question. What challenges do retailers face when marketing their products through multiple channels? Consumers desire a seamless experience when interacting with omnichannel retailers. However, providing this seamless experience for customers is not easy for retailers. Because each of the channels is somewhat different, a critical decision facing omnichannel retailers is the degree to which they should or are able to integrate the operation of the channels. Students, I thank you for listening to my video lecture. Please take time to review each of the following vocabulary words that I've prepared. These words are critical to the increasing of your marketing vocabulary. I have really enjoyed talking to you. I look forward to discussing Chapter 14 in my next video lecture. Warmest regards, Nancy, Southerland.